everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tamika. This is Library of Tomes, where I talk to you about all the bookish things going on in my life. Hi, welcome back. I hope you're doing great. Today I'm doing a collab with two of my best friends in the whole world. That is Shay from ShaeGeeksOut and Izzy from Happy for Now. We are doing a manga collab. We are going to be talking about some beginner level recommendations for manga. So we're all covering a pretty much broad spectrum of demographics. So you will find a rec for you whether you watch my video or you go watch their videos. You're gonna find something for you, especially if you're really new to the genre. So essentially, Shay loves manga. She's reading manga all the time, and she has been reading it for I think about 5 years now. And Izzy and I used to read manga, and we recently got back into it. I was never really able to read manga at the rate that I kind of wanted to because it's expensive. But Shay has recommended some great services to me and to Izzy, and I'm now able to read a lot more manga for a lot cheaper. I use the Viz Media app, which is like $2 a month. You get to read 100 chapters a day, and that's a lot of manga. That's a lot of manga. And then there is also the Brooklyn Library card, which Izzy introduced me to, which is $50 a year, and I get so much manga through there. There's manga in KU. There's manga all over the place. So without further ado, I'm gonna hop in, give you some recommendations. Make sure you're gonna go check out their videos. They will be linked in the description. I know that like getting into manga is a little intimidating when you have no clue where to start. So don't worry, we've got you covered. Here are some recommendations. So would it be a video for me if I didn't immediately talk about Tokyo Ghoul, which is my current, not favorite, but favorite? It's like in my top 2 favorite mangas. I cannot recommend you my favorite manga though. I don't feel like my favorite manga is a good beginner recommendation, but this is such a fun series. I love Tokyo Ghoul. It is one of my favorite mangas. It is absolutely an amazing story. So essentially Tokyo Ghoul follows Ken Kaneki, who is a human, and he is just a normal human. He's like 18 years old. He's a college student. He is very shy. He's a bookworm, and he is like interested in this girl named Riza, and she works at this cafe he goes to all the time with his friend, and he ends up asking her on a date, and she says yes, and something happens along the way, and Ken Kaneki ends up becoming a half ghoul. Her organs get put into him, so he ends up becoming a half human, half ghoul, and it is his life trying to now learn his new situation and trying to like kind of fit in both worlds and not show everyone that he's a ghoul, while also learning to like be a ghoul after being a human for 18 years. I absolutely love this story. It is so action-packed and so fun, and like there are so many twists and turns and different things happening within the story that I just think is so interesting and so hard to like put down. This story is just, it is such a good beginner horror manga because it's not scary in my opinion. I don't think it's scary at all. I think if anything, this story is just it is just more interesting. Like I think if you like zombie type stories, this is definitely one that you could get behind and enjoy. This one is like, it's more gore than it is horror, and I think that is a good attraction point if you're not really someone who reads a lot of horror. So if you like thrillers or you like survival type stories, this is definitely one I recommend to everyone who likes that type of thing. I just absolutely adore Tokyo Ghoul. I love Ken Kaneki. I love his transformation. I love watching the way that he interacts in the human world and also the ghoul world, so the two different sides of him. I love watching them be at war. I love Ken Kaneki. I love the story. Cannot recommend it enough. I could not do this recommendation video and not put Tokyo Ghoul first. Please go read it if you've not read it yet. I adore it. It is on the Viz Media app, and I'm pretty sure it's at the Brooklyn Library, and it was at my local library too, so just kind of check out and see what you can find. I read most of it through my sister, and then the rest of it through Viz Media, so it's wonderful. I love it. Okay, so next up I want to talk about Cutie and the Beast, which I think would be an absolute great series for my romance people. I know that most of you all follow me because of romance, because that's what I talk about here on my channel, is romance books most of the time, and this is definitely one of these stories I think that my dark romance lovers would love. This is not a dark romance, to be clear, but it is a taboo age gap, and I feel like my taboo lovers would love that. This is very sweet and pretty wholesome. There's not steam in this at all. The most that has happened so far is he has kissed her. It is absolutely so sweet. So we follow Kuga and Mamoka, and they are in a very very taboo age gap romance. He is 29 and she is only 18. She is still in high school and he is a professional wrestler. I said professional, really funny. He's a professional wrestler and she is his #1 fan. She's sending him tweets every day and like sending him encouragement, and eventually she gets to meet him and it's their romance. It's absolutely adorable. I think that a lot of the romance people would absolutely love this. I say that my taboo lovers would love this because of the age gap, but I really don't think it's that taboo. Granted, take that with a grain of salt. I am also the person who reads taboo stuff on the daily. So this is really fun. It's really sweet and I really love this series, and I cannot wait to read the rest of Cutie. I cannot wait to see where these two go, and I think everyone would love this. I truly do. It's so cute and it's a fairly inexpensive one, and it's just really sweet. And there is only 2 volumes of this, so this is a shorter one. We do get volume 3 in July, I think, so just try it out. It's really good. And then another one for my romance lovers is Those Not So Sweet Boys. This is another one that I absolutely freaking love, and we have releases up until October, I think, of this one. I think there's going to be about 5 volumes that I've seen so far that are up for pre-order. This is the first volume, so this is the only volume that is out right now, but I absolutely adore this story. So it follows these 3 boys here, and then our heroine, whose name is Midori. Her father has like a lot of debt and like he left her family, so now she's like having to help her mother by working a job, and like the family has to kind of come together to survive, and she ends up going to this private school and she has a scholarship, but one of those stipulations is she can't have a job, and the chairman of the school finds out she has a job and he's like, no, you're not supposed to do that. And she ends up making a deal with him that if she can get these 3 boys back in school, then she can keep her job and her scholarship and she won't get expelled. So it's really sweet and really fun. The romance in this one has not started developing yet, but I can already see the groundwork laying for them. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be a romance with just one of the boys or all of them. I kind of want it to be all of them. I kind of want it to be a poly story, but it's really cute and I adore this. So please check it out if you have not heard of it before now. I can't express enough how much I love this. It is so sweet. So then I have to talk about Orange. This is a very emotional story. There's 2 volumes of this, so it's complete after 2 volumes. It's 2 big omnibuses. I love it. Okay, so I borrowed this from Baby Tomes. This follows our heroine, whose name I cannot remember, and she is just a normal high school student, and she gets a letter from herself 10 years in the future because she finds out that one of her classmates is going to commit suicide, and her future self wants her to take it upon herself to try to keep that from happening because he is one of their friends and they all have regrets about not doing what they could to stop it from happening. It's her story as she follows the letters and tries to change the future and keep her friend from committing suicide. It's very emotional. I cried a few times reading this. I absolutely love this series. The characters are so sweet and so precious, and I really feel like anyone who reads contemporary stories could really like this one, and it would be a good crossover story to kind of like give it a try. It is a longer one, like they're pretty long, but there's only 2 volumes of it, so I feel like you could really get through it pretty easily. Plus the story is just so gripping and you are rooting for those 2 characters to have a sweet romance. It's unreal, and I just love them. So I really feel like this would work well for people who really like romance, especially the people here, and I really recommend it. If you want something that is emotional and that is going to really leave an impact on you, I really feel like you should pick up Orange. Okay, so I want to also recommend a shonen title that is very popular, that if you watch anime or you read manga of any kind or you kind of like look around, you're gonna see, and that is My Hero Academia, or as I call it, My Hero Academia. That's not what it's called. It's called My Hero Academia, but I like to say My Hero Academia because I think it's funny. It's not funny, but that's just who I am as a human. Okay, so My Hero Academia is a superhero shonen title. It follows Midoriya, who is a guy who does not have a quirk, and in this world quirks are like the superhero powers, and almost everyone has them, but there are some people who are quirkless, and unfortunately Midoriya is quirkless. All he wants is to become a superhero, like his favorite superhero, All Might, and it's his story of meeting All Might and potentially getting a quirk and potentially becoming a superhero and going to a superhero school. And it's a really fun story. I really enjoyed it. I really liked volume 1. I gave it a 4-star, and this is definitely a series I'm gonna plan on continuing in the near future. I really liked it. I like superheroes. If you like superheroes, this is something I really recommend like checking out. It's really fun, it's action-packed, and it's just a really good beginner story. It's very easy to follow. I didn't feel like the battle scenes were too hard to understand what was going on. It's not super complicated. It's like a very easy one to like ease yourself into, so that when you are getting into the more of the heavy battle shonens, then they're not as like complicated. This is definitely something that's like, you can tell there's action going on, but it's very clear on what's happening, and I think it's a really good one to get into, especially for new people. So yeah, if you want to check out My Hero Academia, I really recommend it. The story is really fun. And then could it be a video for me if I don't talk about Sweat and Soap? Because please read Sweat and Soap. I don't know how many times I have to talk about it before everyone gets tired of me, but this story is adorable. It's a seinen series. This one is a girl who has a body odor problem. She sweats a lot, and she thinks that she smells all the time, so she's constantly cleaning herself up. And she works with in this company that's like a Bath and Body Works style company. It's like a soap company, and the product line like manager who makes the scents loves the way she smells, and he wants to smell her all the time, and it's a romance between them. It's like a slice of life romance series. It's way more just like what's happening with their lives and how their relationship is developing. We are on volume 5. Volume 6 comes out in April, I think. And it's just really, it's a really fun story. It's really sweet. It's really precious. It's so pure. There's a little bit of steam. There's a couple panels where they're doing the do, but like it's not steamy. It's not super steamy in my opinion. It's pretty pure. Granted, you're also gotta remember I read Fire in His Fingertips, which is straight up hentai, so it's pretty pure in my opinion. It's really sweet, and I really enjoy it. Their relationship is very wholesome, and it sounds like a really disturbing concept. He likes to sniff her. It sounds disgusting, but it's not. It's very sweet. It's very precious, and I find their relationship very comforting. I really love this, and I really recommend you check it out, especially if you're a romance reader, because I think romance readers will love this one. Okay, so those are all of my manga recommendations for beginners. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. All of the mangas will be linked in the description, so you can check them out if you want them. And make sure you're checking out Shae and Izzy's channels as well, because they are down below. They were where I get a majority of my romance and other manga recommendations. So with that being said, I will chat with you all in my next video. Bye everyone.